to Kennedy's bedroom. Today's science lesson is on how light travels. So first thing you see is you can see Kennedy is making a shadow puppet for us. Kennedy, what are you making?
Turkey.
Kennedy says that is a turkey. She is making a turkey on the wall. Now, how does that work? So here's how it works. Light travels in a straight line. So just like anything, if you're traveling in a straight line, you're going straight until boom, you run into something. Well, that's how light works. So the start of my light is a flashlight that you can't see, but the light is traveling in a straight line. Jonas, you want to go ahead and do yours? In a straight line until it hits Jonas's hand. Jonas, what are you making?
Frog.
Jonas has made a frog. So the light comes from my flashlight in a straight line. It's heading completely straight until boom, it hits Jonas's hand. Now, the light that is going right past his hand never has to stop. It's still traveling in a straight line until it hits the wall. But the light that hits Jonas's hand, and then Kennedy, you want to show us one? What are you doing, Kennedy?
Butterfly.
A butterfly. When it hits Kennedy's hand, it blocks the light and it cannot go through her hand. Therefore, it makes a dark shadow because no light is getting through right where her hand is. The light is from all the rest of it going around, but right where her hand is a black shadow. The most important thing to remember is this. Light travels in a straight line. Now, when you're talking about the sun, it travels in a straight line too. Let me show you this. When the light from the sun, this is Kennedy's lip gloss. When the light from the sun, which is up above, is straight above you, which is called noon, you can see right at the bottom of that lip gloss, see that shadow? It's just a little tiny dark circle. Do you see it sitting right behind it? That's because the light, the sunlight or the light from the flashlight is straight above it. So you can't see the shadow but a very tiny small shadow. That's when the sun is directly above your head. But watch, as the sun starts to set, look what happens. The shadow grows. It's getting bigger and bigger. Do you see how that shadow is moving? That black spot is moving. It's getting bigger and bigger because the sun is lowering. That means it is getting later in the day and the sun is setting. So when the sun is nice and high, right up at top in the sky, look at that circle, it's small. That's when the sun is at noon and it is at the tippy top right above you. Pretend that lip gloss is a person. But then as the sun begins to set, it gets later and later in the day. It's moving down, sinking, sinking, sinking. Notice how the shadow is growing. It's getting longer and longer and longer. And the shadow becomes longer as the sun comes towards the side of it. When the straight sunlight shoots from the side, when it's up top, small round shadow. When it comes down the side and the straight sunlight shoots to the side, the shadow becomes longer and longer and longer. Friends, as you're looking at your page in your science book, you will notice that you are going to look at different shadows and the way the light is over the head and there's a small shadow, and when the light is coming from the side, the shadow is long and skinny. So read all about the light and how light travels in a straight line and fill out your page. See you later, friends.